Hi everyone, I'm Teacher A-Jin. Today, I'm going to take you to this old street, not just painting, but also a practice of light and memory. This photo was taken at the entrance of Qishan Old Street. The sunlight that day was like a fireball level light. It was in the afternoon. There was a small square ahead. It was very lively. The square old building in front of us was piled with debris. The voices of the vendors next to it were loud. This picture looks plain, but when the light hits it, hey, it's like the old street is telling a story. Today we're going to practice the rhythm of light and shadow and how to find peace in chaos and rearrange the picture to create a taste. Okay, no more nonsense. Let's get started. First, I apply a layer of water. This is the enlightenment ceremony of cultivation. Then I use a little gray, purple, and blue to lay the bottom of the sky. Then I added yellow, red, and brown colors to cover the entire street scene. The two umbrellas in front, I leave blank, just like life. Don't fill in the blank areas randomly. To full is not beautiful. The whole background. Don't think too much about details. This is our foundation. The foundation is stable. The building is high. It dries. We'll come back. We can start to apply the second layer. At this time, don't draw everything out. Just squint your eyes and take a look. And just slightly, and just make them slightly darker at this time. The cool and warm colors, let them flow into each other. The dark areas are good at this time. When it's still the base color, to complete it, okay. For the second layer, I'm actually building on the architecture. The overall color tone at this time. Don't use the exam mode too much. Just relax a bit. I'm in a good mood today. I plan to draw it more handsome. Hey, relax the brush and the color blocks between the gray tones to create a rhythm. This old brick building, if you draw brick by brick, slowly, you'll be exhausted. Painting is not building a house. Too much detail will make it less poetic. Look through squinted eyes, see it as color blocks. Don't let details control the light and shadow. So, when you see the car on my right, I deliberately left it blank. Why is that? Because it's actually black. If I draw it as black as it is, the whole picture would be too dark. Watercolor is about using the virtual to represent the real. So the light and shadow will be totally. As for the building on the right, I raised it a bit to make the perspective line smooth. The main color is still coffee and blue. One is cold and one is warm. Just like the sweetness, warm and cold balance. The painting will be good. The same for people. Right. What about that awning? I left some light. Well, when the light hits, try to leave some white light. The figures under Yongpang are all vague. This is the so-called mind, but not form. Although there are no people, I secretly added a few vendors and tourists. When I'm painting, sometimes like a time machine, to breathe new life into the old street. I keep the overall brushwork light and brisk. I use water to blend some light and shadow to make the picture both real. At this time, don't draw it too much like an architectural drawing. Painting is art, not selling houses. The key point of this painting is actually in the sense of flow. Look at the person on the left. I designed it is walking to the right, then this line of sight will naturally
be led to the white umbrella.
There is another one, and there is another person below, right?
Okay.
What about the figure below? This time,
We don't need to draw it in right away. Okay.
first establish the base color.
Okay.
Under the parasol, there is a man in red with a backpack.
Person
The contrast of red and white,
forms the soul center of the whole painting.
the light and shadow, and the color blocks all intersect here, and the painting will be alive. Finally, I used a little black and white to adjust the light. I left a little white at the corner
To create the feeling of sunlight.
shining and sparkling. At that moment, you will
You can feel the cicadas chirping in the afternoon and smell the bean fragrance.
when I draw here, sometimes I often think that the old street will age, but the light will not. Painting is like living a life. Light and shadow to create stories. So, finally,
We're going to start to lower the light,
to lower the light, to create
the feeling of the light shining down today. This is also the final step to finish the painting.
when the overall tone is pressed.
It's like a music concert when the timpani.
The timpani is played, then the whole heart will be at ease. The light will come out.
Oh,
For other details, you
it's just make some minor adjustments.
don't do that. Don't draw too much.
In addition, there are
There are some places where there is no ventilation. Some white paint, you can click it in.
or make some modifications.
White is not unusable if used well, and use it skillfully. If used well, it can be the finishing touch. If not used well, it's superfluous. Actually, too much or too little are not good.
At this time, we can make some modifications. I just said I want to draw more handsome, right?
Since we want to draw handsome, we can't draw too thin. So you see, today my brushstrokes,
I feel good, right?
So when you are painting in a good mood, you will naturally draw better.
I heard that drinking some wine.
You'll draw more handsome, but I can't drink alcohol.
What should I do then?
Well, then I have to. How about drinking coffee? Drinking coffee is okay.
But it seems that drinking alcohol makes you cooler.
Right.
Oh, what I want to say is
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
maybe I can practice drinking another day.
Take a sip and draw a stroke.
One stroke.
If I drink a small cup and finish a painting. Okay, that's almost done.
I'm going to find a small pen to sign. After signing, we will be done.
See you next time.